Hi, everyone, and welcome to Josh and Around Milwaukee. My name is Josh Albrecht, and with me, as always, is my good friend.
Hey, it's Josh Albrecht.
That's right, Josh Albrecht and Josh Albrecht, and we're joshing around, and we're here to explore the best of our city, its vibrant culture, thriving tourism scene, and the people making it all happen. And we're very excited today to be talking about Bublr bikes with Laura Bublr and Daniela Lopez. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we really appreciate you.
So this is going to be a lot of fun, and we got a lot of great questions and topics around Bublr bikes. But before we do that, let's get to know you ladies first. So, Laura, what is your title, and what do you do with Bublr bikes?
I am the executive director, the very proud executive director of Bublr Bikes, Milwaukee's nonprofit bike share. I've been in the position just a little over a year, so still learning the ropes, but having a good time.
Love it. And Daniela?
I'm the new membership manager for Bublr Bikes. I have been working with Bublr for almost a year, and I spread information that we are a nonprofit organization. We're also a small team of 7, and that we have the Access Pass, which is a free annual pass for people receiving low-income or government assistance, and that we also have programs like the B3 Workforce Program, which is for high schoolers. And we have collaborated with the Boys and Girls Club and Dream Bikes, and this gives them a bike mechanics certification, and it's all free, and it's just a program for them to be certified.
You know what I heard from that is 7 staff members, and they do all that.
Yeah, exactly.
And run a bike share.
Yeah, you run a bike share.
And also the process of doing the bike share. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about, because that is amazing, and I do want to get back to that. But let's talk about Bublr bikes. And exactly, what it is. If you haven't seen a Bublr bike, I don't know, open your eyes.
Yeah.
They're all over the city.
I thought for a second there, I was like, let's dial it back to the formation of bicycles.
Yes. Let's go in the way back machine.
The penny farthing.
Yes. But talk to us kind of about how Bublr bikes came to be, how the idea came about.
So, over 10 years ago, this little ragtag group of our founders thought Milwaukee needs a bike share to make us a world-class city. So Bruce Keys, Barry Mainwood, and Julie Kaufman founded Bublr with one station out by Discovery World. They did a little tester to see how it would go. It was a great recreational, lakefront, ride around, bring the bike back. And we have grown over the past 10 plus years to include over 100 stations and about 1,200 bikes in our fleet. So we've expanded, obviously, beyond Discovery World, but also into West Dallas and Wauwatosa.
Wow, that's 1,200 awesome. Bikes in the fleet.
Yeah. That's a lot of bikes.
It's a lot of bikes. And so we have our standard pedal bikes, which everybody's familiar with, the blue Bublrs. And then in 2021, we introduced our electric bikes, so our e-assist bikes, which are the white and black bikes that you'll see around town. That really it's a game changer for folks who maybe haven't been on a bike in, 30 plus years, to get on an e-bike and be able to keep up. You're not sweating, you're not huffing and puffing, but you're getting around to where you need to go.
So talk to me about the process. Let's say that I've never participated. I know that they're there. I've seen them. I couldn't tell you exactly where the location is. How do I go about participating in the process of Bublr bikes?
So we have a multitude of options. So a typical, a walk-up user like yourself would go up to a station, whether it's one of our big blue kiosks or some of our new sleek black docks. Download the B-Cycle app, create an account, and check out a bike, ride it around, return it to another dock.
And
it's that simple.
Is there like a through the app when you download it? Is that where it lays out? Does it have like a little map or something so I know where I can go? Because that'd be my big thing, right? I'm like, all right, this has been fun.
Yeah.
Where am I
riding this thing to? I got to get to the next next stop.
The B-Cycle app has a map of all the other docks that are available. You can also find them on Google Maps. You can find them on the Visit Milwaukee map. That shows where. Nice. Yeah, that shows
She's
where
good at this. Yeah.
That shows where the Bublr stations are. So from there, you can really ride it to any station. Depending on the pass type that you have a certain amount of time. So pick the appropriate pass that you want, whether you're just going out for a quick little jaunt or you want to do an annual pass because it's going to be a means of transportation.
Yeah, it's perfect to use. Like, I mean, you the start 10 years ago on the lakefront, beautiful for there, great for visitors. Maybe even riding out to a Brewers game, right? Take the Hank Aaron Trail. But it's also, I think it's great that you're in the other communities like Wauwatosa, so you can go community to community. But it's just pretty amazing.
Right. We like to think of ourselves as a community center on wheels. We really connect, whether you are a resident of Greater Milwaukee or you're visiting. Every year we have riders from every single state in the United States, which is really, really cool for us. So we know that people are seeking out Bublr bikes to get around town when they're visiting. And it makes it easy. And even if you have a bike, you have your own personal bike, sometimes you don't want to take your nice bike to big events, to a Brewers game, right? But you can take a Bublr, dock it at the Brewers stadium bike station, Bublr station, and not have to worry about your nice bike being gone when you get out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely. And as you mentioned, Josh, it's not just there. I mean, you can go explore other, surrounding suburbs and cities and still take part in the process.
Yeah, so it's super easy with the credit card. Everything's booked on the app. What's the average, is there an average ride cost? What's the average ride?
So if you're a walk-up user, it's 25 cents per minute. So it can get costly. Right. Yeah, you better be pedaling. That's why the e-bikes
I got to do
nice,
this in 4 minutes.
Yeah. I would just look at it as a challenge. I'm like,
right. How far can I get?
Right. I'm going to bust it right here. I'm going to go as fast as I can.
And it's where the e-bikes really come in handy because you can get farther faster.
Sure.
So 25 cents per minute. We also have, a 24-hour pass, a weekend pass, our annual passes. So you get unlimited 60-minute rides with your annual pass. So you're not paying per minute. And then if let's say you're going for, you're starting at South Shore Park and you're heading up to Estabrook Park, and that's going to take you maybe an hour if you're, maybe stopping at some beer gardens along the way. Once you dock it, you can undock it so you're not going over that 60 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, and the time resets every time you return the bike. So if you were using it for less than 60 minutes, you can keep using it for an additional 60 minutes throughout the whole day as long as you keep returning it before the time is up.
Nice.
I kind of like that you can make a path of, okay, I just got to get to this spot, start over, go again.
Josh is famous for wanting to plan his adventures.
Yes.
He likes to plan it out.
Yes.
And it totally fits that scheme.
Yes.
I absolutely love it. So we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, I know that there's a big event that you guys are looking forward to in Sorwe. And I also want to get into this a little bit more just about the community and all these other things that you guys do with these membership opportunities. And we are going to get to that and more on Josh and Around Milwaukee right after this. Welcome back, everyone, to Josh and Around Milwaukee. We're having a lot of fun with Laura and Daniela from Bublr Bikes today, and you can always have fun where the action never stops at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee with thousands of the hottest slots, nearly 100 high-energy table games, and a sleek new poker room. The thrills are endless. Take your love of sports to the next level at the region's best sportsbook, featuring an over 2,000-square-foot video wall, nonstop betting, and all the live sports you can handle. All of this inside of a newly remodeled, multi-level casino that's built for the ultimate gaming experience. Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, your win is waiting.
Awesome, fantastic. We are here with Bublr Bikes, and we're talking about seeing the city on two wheels in a variety of different ways and traveling through the city. Maybe people go from beer garden to beer garden. Maybe they go from festival to festival. Sometimes, Josh, they might go from custard shop to custard shop.
Oh,
to get a scoop
of
custard.
Why would you say? Is there a?
Well, I'm very delighted with myself because they've got a scoop for us of news.
I love this. He worked on that.
I worked on that really hard.
It's salted pecan.
Yeah.
What would the Bublr Bikes flavor be?
Yeah,
That's
what's the flavor be?
ooh.
I think we
Okay.
just introduced a
Yeah.
whole
We
like
sure
summer
did.
promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Let's put a pin in that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you get that accomplished, Josh and I get the first scoop.
Yes.
Of course.
We do.
Of course.
Yeah, but we want the scoop
like
today,
legally,
though.
like
What
you
is-
heard it. Yeah.
What's today's scoop? What do you got for us?
Bublr Bikes is super excited about 2025. We partner with the city of Milwaukee. So the city owns the bikes and the docks within the city. And last year they received a $4.1 million federal grant, to expand and densify the Bublr system. So we will be essentially doubling the number of stations within the city of Milwaukee this year.
Whoa.
Wow, that is a scoop.
That is
It's a
huge.
big
That's like
scoop.
2 or 3 scoops.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's a half gallon. You just take that home.
So we're really excited. We're partnering with the city to get feedback from the community about where stations are going to go. So there's going to be opportunity for feedback from everyone. So starting in April, we'll have some yard signs where we think a station should go.
Oh, nice.
And there'll be a little QR code for community feedback, like, oh, this is a great spot, or what are you thinking? I want one right in my front yard, all those things. But we will start installing them likely towards the end of April, once the weather cooperates
That's
with
a really
us.
fun way to do it, like to do the yard signs and let people sort of in some way vote, if you will. Like, say,
Yeah.
no, I want it here. Like, this is a great intersection, or this is a popular spot in town. I'm sure the two of you already have your own ideas of where they need to go.
Yeah, so we've been working with the city and using one, we do surveys with our riders, but also looking at where scooter share goes and starts and stops, to look at gaps of the transportation gaps that are still in our city, and really focusing on those areas, and going into neighborhoods that we previously were unable to serve because it's too far out from our network. So we'll be expanding a little bit into those neighborhoods, but also densifying. So you're never more than 2-3 blocks away from a Bublr station. So back to where am I riding this thing?
Yeah.
It'll be much easier
Oh,
to
that's
just
so
hop
awesome.
on and know that you're a 2-3 blocks away from.
Since that is with the city of Milwaukee, are those new locations going to be all within city boundary? Is it county? What's the
Correct.
limits?
So it'll be within the city of Milwaukee. So we still have our suburban stations in West Dallas and Wauwatosa, but the densifying and the expansion will be limited to the city of Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's still fantastic.
yeah,
that's
yeah,
gonna-
we're really excited.
You'll
incredible.
literally be able to get all around the city. That's fantastic news.
And in addition to doubling the stations, we'll be adding 500 more e-bikes to our fleet. So right now they're kind of, we have about 800 e-bikes in our fleet, but it will essentially make it 50-50 with the standard pedal bikes.
That's
so
okay. What is the
fantastic.
speed limit on those e-bikes? How fast can we get going?
The Bublr e-bikes are governed to only go 15 miles an hour. Now, unless you're going downhill, obviously,
Right.
momentum
Right.
will speed you up. But
So we'll
it's
take it to the top of a hill. And
top of the hill, and then we're hands free.
That's
Yeah.
right.
put this to the test. Well,
It's
that's
15
awesome.
miles per hour pedal assist. So once it reaches the 15 miles per hour, that's when it stops assisting you with the power.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can
Yeah.
still pedal.
So
and get a good workout.
someone like Josh here, who's got biker legs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They can
You
really
can't
get the
see him,
pedaling.
but just take his word for it.
He's easily
that-
going 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
easily.
Easily.
Yeah. Professional bicyclist over here.
He's basically Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, essentially. So, well, that's very exciting news, and thank you for sharing that. I know that we also need to talk about. You guys have there's the Wheel and Sprocket Bike Expo coming up in very soon, right? It's going to be April 11th through the 13th. You guys going to be participating in that?
Yeah, we are really good partners with Wheel and Sprocket. They've been around since the start of Bublr. Chris Cagle, rest in peace, Chris Cagle, was some of the first adopters of Bublr bikes. So we are happy to be back at the expo. It's been gone, I think, since COVID. So this is their first year back. We'll be selling merch, our annual passes, advocating about, protected bikeways, and really showing up in the community with our programs. So the B3 program that Daniela talked about and our Access Pass program. Yeah, so it should be a fun weekend.
Yeah, and where are the locations? Is it multiple locations or just one?
It's one location at State Fair Park.
Upstate Park. Great. Yeah.
Awesome. And you said, and this is, we're going to get back to it. I told you we would. I want to talk about, you brought up the the community aspect of this and a little bit more than just a bike share program. Tell me just a little bit more about the kind of mission of Bublr Bikes and the community that you guys are going to be showing off at the Bike Expo.
We are trying to let the community know that we are here for the community of Greater Milwaukee, and we're not thinking of expanding any more than Greater Milwaukee because we're here to stay for people who need us for their jobs or people who need us to go from point A to point B. The Access Pass has helped a lot of people get to where they need to be, either for their job or either to just hanging out with their friends. And a Bublr bike also gives people the opportunity to become healthier, and the Access Pass enables them to do this for free. And I don't think there's many opportunities for people to do stuff for free if they can't afford it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. To just make it so much more than just
it's all
a
about
business.
All about accessibility, right?
Right.
Making sure the city is accessible for everybody. Jobs are accessible for people, whatever it might be. I think that's wonderful.
And keeping it community focused is really awesome. And we're definitely lucky in the city of Milwaukee to have the group of Bublr Bikes available to everyone. That's awesome. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of these ways that everyone can get involved with Bublr Bikes and a little bit more info on how you can get to the Bike Expo as well. This is Josh and Around Milwaukee. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Josh and Around Milwaukee. We've had a lot of fun today talking with Laura and Daniela from Bublr Bikes. We had some scoops, some big scoops on the show. Oh yeah, huge. More bikes coming and more areas to ride them. This is going to be fantastic. Cannot wait for that to all take place.
I do have one quick question. Can I barge in?
Please do.
Yeah. So while everyone in Milwaukee certainly knows why it's called a Bublr bike, we do have listeners from throughout the country.
That's true.
Why Bublr bikes?
Why not Bublr Bikes? So the legend goes that it was going to be called the Milwaukee Bike Share. Horrible, right?
Yeah. It serves a purpose.
I mean, it
certainly says what it is.
It says what it is, right?
Yes.
Straight and to the point.
Yes.
And I'm going to call her out. Julie Kaufman thought it was a horrible idea to name it Bublr Bikes, so we like to give her a hard time about that. But really, the thought process behind it was reclaiming Bublr. So when Bublr was founded, like the young demographics were shying away from calling Bublrs. And as a transplant, I am a transplant.
You know it as a water fountain.
I know it as a drinking fountain.
Which is the only except because I have that conversation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm like, it's not a water fountain. Water fountains are in parks, and it's like a little angel with water coming out of the mouth. That's not what I drink out of. So I settle for drinking fountains because everyone says, it's not a bubbler, there's no bubbles. I'm like, we can settle on drinking fountain.
Yes.
It's a bubbler. Yes. And that's how the conversation usually goes. But yeah.
So the founders wanted to kind of revitalize that. And it's such a mainstay in Southeast Wisconsin and Wisconsin in general that they really wanted to lean into something truly local to set us apart. And it's part of the reason why we were founded as a nonprofit, because we wanted to be more than just a bike share. So I think it's fantastic. It's whimsical and fun, and it's used as a verb now, right?
Yeah.
Like, how are you getting around? I'm going to Bublr there. And so it's so synonymous in our community right now. And I have, family from out of state, and they just think it's so funny that it's called Bublr. Like, they're just like, what, you work where? Like the Bublr Bikes?
Yeah.
But I think it really lends into, biking, and a totally biased opinion, is a great way to see your community, your city, to get around. You're interacting with people. When you're in a vehicle, you're boxed in this metal box, and you can't say hi to somebody on the street corner. You can't say, oh, look at that cool architecture, right? It really brings the city to life. And I think it's beautiful that Bublr can do that for people, regardless of if they own their own bike, if they're visiting the city or the greater Milwaukee area, and really feeling like it's a local experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love it too.
That's a perfect ending.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Cherry on top.
Yeah,
That's right.
On top of that triple scoop.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, ladies. We really appreciate it. If you're looking for more information on Bublr Bikes, download the app, go to the website, get that map, and get out and get on a bike.
Yeah, go explore the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for listening. If you missed previous episodes of Josh and Around, you can find those at visitmilwaukee.org. We'll see you next time. All right, everybody. We've had a ton of fun on Josh and Around today with Laura and Daniela from Bublr Bikes. If you're hearing this segment, it's because you're listening on our podcast or watching on YouTube or one of the other Visit Milwaukee social media channels, and we appreciate you doing so. And we just got a little bit more time and questions for both of you, but thank you so much for joining us today. This has been fun.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So one of the things that we do that's kind of a staple in this segment, and I'm going to let him still do it, but Josh has his question that he asks, and it's a good one because it really does celebrate Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's the question of the day. It's fresh city vibes, and what I mean by that is Milwaukee's got a lot of momentum right now. A lot of cool things happening in the city, in the area. There's always something fresh to do. So what's giving you fresh city vibes right now in the city?
So this is like a humble brag. But for the first time, I got to go to Esther Ev in Bayview,
yes.
Dan Jacobs restaurant. It was amazing that we have this caliber of foodies in Milwaukee. And this is also a shameless plug to Dan Jacobs. There is a Bublr station right across the street from Esther Ev at Zillman Park. And what I would love is we have adaptive bikes in our fleet also. We didn't even talk about this. We have adaptive bikes for people with mobility challenges.
Sure.
I would love to get Chef Dan on an adaptive Bublr bike at Zillman Park across from Esther.
Love it. Yeah, let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. I was
Why
like,
not?
if anybody can do it, it's this room.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. But
that's awesome.
it was such a cool experience. And like, it was such a great atmosphere, vibe. And again, just world-class food in little old Milwaukee, right? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like we can't really say that anymore. It's like Milwaukee's on the scene.
That's right.
It's true.
Yeah, and we are definitely known for food, thanks to
Top
Chef,
Chef.
and
Yeah.
just so many great chefs. I mean, all the James
Yeah.
Beard winners and nominees in our area, and of course, you can ride the bike from Esther Ev back to the Third Ward and do a double scoop
Right.
of Dan Jacobs.
Dan to Esther Ev, back and forth, just ping pong.
Synergy.
Love how much that works.
All right, Daniela, same question for you. What's giving you fresh city vibes right now?
I just can't wait for summer and to ride my bike on Bradford Beach and looking at the beautiful lakefront. And from Bradford Beach going to under the bridge that's by the Summerfest grounds.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
Yeah,
thing.
from Bradford Beach to the Hone Bridge. That's a beautiful ride. That's,
Yeah.
that's a good,
And
call.
you know, the beach doesn't get enough. Like, the fact that we have it is something, but it's crazy how many people live in Milwaukee and the surrounding area and don't take advantage of the fact that we have a beach. Like,
Yes.
that is truly something that.
yeah, well, we've got multiple beaches, Josh.
True, but I'm saying like that. Like,
Have you
have
only been to
beachfront-
one of them?
Yes. Yes.
All right,
No,
expand
that's
your
true.
horizon.
let's have a
here.
conversation later. There's Atwater. There's
I was thinking about
Yeah.
taking a bike and going from beach to beach.
beach hop.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That sounds so nice.
That's why we do this.
That's
hop
why.
on your
He
Bublr
yells
bike,
at me
right?
about something, then I come up with an idea, and it all
then it
ties
all works
together.
out.
Yeah,
That's
we have our own synergy. Well, that's awesome, and now we have some homework
We
on
do.
some things we're going to do as well. But thank you, ladies, so much for joining us. This has been a lot of fun, and can't wait to get on a Bublr bike soon.
Love it. Thank you for having us.
All right.
you.
Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening to today's episode. If you missed previous episodes, they're probably going to autoplay right after this one, so just let them do that. But if you want to go and search for a specific one, make sure to do that and learn more about Josh and Around Milwaukee at visitmilwaukee.org. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.